When Bonnie Blue and Lily Phillips decided that they were going to start assembling a team of Avengers, they said it was easy money. Lily, she did the 100 Guys Challenge back in 2024. And then Bonnie Blue came right behind her at the beginning of 2025. And she slept with about 1,000 guys in 12 hours or 24 hours, one of them, all for the love of the money. Then we had Wisconsin Tiff that did the backdoor challenge, and she did it reconstructive surgery. And they said, hey, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. So now we have Miss Annie Knight, who is hospitalized after sleeping with 583 men. It's not nearly as much as her mentor, Bonnie Blue. 600 is quite shy of 1,000, but she did give it the old college try. OnlyFans star Annie Knight is sharing an update amid her recent hospitalization after sleeping with 583 men in 6 hours. I don't understand why they got to keep one-upping each other. Like, we see what the end result is going to be. It just sort of gotten to the point, I think, where my body has gone, hey, high cortisol, can't function. Basically making my endometriosis worse, as well as we know that hormonal imbalances can cause irregular and heavy periods. So unfortunately, that's what I've been dealing with since. You might be dealing with a hell of a lot more than that if you keep going down this path. But what do I know? I'm not a doctor, just a guy on the internet. Knight explained that the days leading up to the event were quite stressful, obviously, sleeping with almost 600 people, because she bought her dream house and was simultaneously organizing the challenge. And that's what the incentive is with all of these women. Of course, it's money. Of course, they're going to keep doing it because they see the results that other people are getting. When Lily Phillips did this back in 2024, she got $3 million. I'm not sure if that was just donations or subscriptions to OnlyFans, but when you see those type of numbers, you're like, hey, I'll throw my pride out the window too. In all my videos, I was very honest about the fact that I was feeling fine before, during, and after. So the actual physical side of the challenge wasn't so much the problem. It was more like after effects, I guess, the amount of stress on myself. Yeah, she just let 600 guys run through her like a bulldozer. She said she was shocked by how easy it was to sleep with almost 600 men. That's more people than I graduated with back in 2011. The issue is the lady that did this first back in the day, Lisa Sparks, who slept with 919 guys, she set a precedent. She set a precedent for all of the to aspire to. And it's the same thing like the Columbine shooters. Obviously, nobody passed away from the 600 people that ran through her body. But it's an example of the attention that you can get, the money that you can get, the notoriety that you could get. So in my opinion, it's about the same in terms of negative impact. And they set an example for everybody else that's going to come along after them, come along behind them. Everybody that does this is setting the example and setting up the next person to basically follow behind their footsteps. They're going to say, you know what? She got some money. All I have to do is take it a step further. We had the 100 men challenge, the 1,000 men challenge, the backdoor challenge, whatever challenge this is. And the last 2 women were hospitalized. It's just getting more degenerate, more disgusting, and everybody wants to be the record holder. I would normally say this is fatherless behavior. But somebody commented on one of Annie Knight's posts, and she said that her father approved of what it is that she's doing. Now, you'll never hear me advocate that people shouldn't do whatever it is that they want. I believe in you having full autonomy as long as you're not hurting anybody. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you should do it. For example, you can do drugs, but you probably shouldn't if you don't want wild looking teeth and collapsed veins. You could allow 3 times as many men in your body than there are in the NBA Hall of Fame, but you probably shouldn't. We're at a point in society where 4.1 million people are on OnlyFans. That's a hell of a lot of people. That's a lot of people who have decided that their pride is at the bottom of the list of their priorities. 400 or 4.1 million people are on OnlyFans. Those are people that have decided that there is a price on how much shame and humiliation that they're willing to endure and put upon their family, only to make $5, $10, $15 per subscription. And most of them don't even make, above minimum wage. So they're basically doing it for free. That's telling, in my opinion, about where we are as a society. But, sex has historically and will always sell. We're just at a level where the most egregious of these people are fighting for first place. But at the end of the day, I do hope that Annie Knight recovers from whatever she's going through in the hospital. I do think that she's going to regret this in her future. But I do support her right to hoe. Before we get out of here, we also have to address the men that are participating in a challenge like this. Have some pride in yourself as well, not just the women. Women should have pride in their body and all of this stuff, but men should as well. Have some respect for yourself, respect for your family. Hit the gym, get some dignity, get some confidence, and don't be number 583 in a contest to sleep with these OnlyFans women. Don't be number one either. If you're participating in an event like this, you got something not right in your brain just as much as the women that are organizing these events and participating in these events. Those are my thoughts. If you like the video, subscribe to me back here for the next conversation. If you have something to say, let the world know. This is the place for discourse. Until next time, peace.